It must have been in his genetic makeup, but Ben Day has always seemed to find himself around Coca-Cola and animals. Born in rural Georgia, Ben grew up in a family of famous Coca-Cola bottlers. As a high school graduation gift, Ben came to Ogden to visit his uncle, who owned the local Coca-Cola plant.
Stayed here during the summer, went to Pioneer Days. The biggest thing in my life was Gene Autry, and he was here that year. There was a trick writer named Faye Blessing, I believe was her name. She was here, and I thought it was a heck of a place to come back to. So that's what I did a few years later after I'd finished my schooling and whatever, and worked for the Coca-Cola Company in the summers back in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I decided to come back to Ogden and work for a couple of years, and then I'd move on. That was quite a few years ago, 46 to be exact, and I just never moved out.
As Ben had proven himself to be an effective businessman, his responsibilities increased, and he was soon put in a position of leadership. But he remembers an important lesson he learned the day he took the reins of the Ogden Coca-Cola operation.
I have an uncle who's named Robert V. Day. He's the one that I followed in his footsteps as closely as possible. And the January 1, the year that I took over, which was 1964, he told me one thing, and very, very bluntly: you be certain that you put back into the community a portion thereof of what you take out, and don't you forget it. And I have tried to do that. I picked education with kids as my thing to do, and to put money back in the community through kids, and I felt like that was the best place to put it. I tried all sorts of different things, and that was it. That was my niche.
Ben's dedication to learning is best illustrated by his decision to take over 4,000 fourth-grade children to see the reenactment of the driving of the Golden Spike at Promontory Point in 1996.
It was a real occasion with all those school buses and all the other buses I could commandeer to take 4,400 kids out there, put a red Coke hat with a Olympic torch on one side and a golden spike on the other side of the headband, out in the audience, and stand up there on the platform and look back out. All it was red, just a sea of red hats. But it was a fun day, and the kids learned a lot, and I still run into kids that were on that trip to come up and say hello and tell me that I went to Promontory with you, I went to the driving of the Spike. And that's something that you get that money can't buy.
Ben's commitment to education extends to his support of Wildcat athletics. Not only is that reflected on Weber State's scoreboard and scoreboards throughout Weber and Davis counties, but he has also been involved in supporting Weber State's women's athletics as well, from softball and volleyball to women's rodeo.
Yeah, well, I got a soft spot in my heart for rodeo in the first place. In the second place, the girls up here are awesome. The boys' team does fairly well, but the girls are awesome. I mean, they are. I wouldn't want to be on the other side. And even on the goat tying, when they pick that darn goat up and slam him on the ground, I mean, I wouldn't want to be that goat.
Ben's soft spot for rodeo is one of many soft spots he readily admits. From his 2 Tennessee walkers that he is very fond of, to his love of Weber State University and the entire Ogden community.
I'm just thankful that I've had an opportunity through the years here to be a part of it and be a part of Weber Academies growing up. And that sounds, a little bit funny, but it's the truth.